This is a man so well known and respected in the city of New York, Councilman Fernando Cabrera, a Democratic City Councilman from the Bronx, New York, Jersey to the Bronx, man.
Come on.
How are you, Councilman? He just announced a Democratic primary challenge to Representative Ocasio-Cortez, man. This is huge. This is huge because we've had the Republican folks come in, which is great, and that's huge there too. But to go up against, and you know what you're doing. You know what, what, Fernando? You know what you're doing. Give us a breakdown how you came up with this decision, man.
Well, I was very, very concerned about the fact that my first red flag was the Amazon deal. We lost 25,000 jobs, $27 billion. Who does that? Who runs out and then not replace it with anything? She has brought zero to the district. Crime has risen 90% in some areas in the district. And then this push for socialism, where we're going to get taxed 60%. Imagine the impact, the negative impact that we're going to have in this nation. So as a sitting council member and as a Democrat, a moderate Democrat, we needed somebody to bring common sense and to intervene here. And the district I reflect the values of that district, which is about family, faith, and community. And we need to get back to the basics of what makes New York City great.
You sure you're a Democrat, man? You're talking. I was a Blue Dog my whole life. Oh man, Blue Dog Democrat my whole life. Bill Bradley, Frank Lautenberg, all those guys.
Wow.
And Mario Cuomo. So I know now. I'm like I'm not affiliated with any political party. New Jersey. I'm like an independent, but I'm a conservative, man. And it's okay to be a Blue Dog. And the Democratic Party, between you and I mean, there's only a few 100,000 people. But it's like they don't understand, man. You're making all the sense in the world. And those of us who are in the community just like when you talk and make sense. I don't care what your political affiliation is. I really don't. I'm not looking for a contest. It's like, how do you get across to these? She's got 4 million followers and more on Twitter. Does that really matter? How do you change that mindset?
Well, you could be popular and divisive. You could be popular and not great. Greatness happens when you do something about the district. And if you follow her on Twitter, what you'll find is a lot of people attacking her. So it's not like you have 4 million followers, but it is half of them are saying, what are you talking about?
Yeah, but you're so well known for your great constituent services. What are you hearing from people in your district about her office handling constituent service?
Actually, when you call in, you can't even get a live person. That is shocking. I never heard of such a thing in the 10 years that I've been in the council as a majority whip leader. And a district is really the base of operation. And if you're going to see the changes that we've seen in my district, where we saw unemployment go down from 23.5 to 5.7, crime go down 60%, graduation rates go up. As a matter of fact, I have two high schools. One of them, 99% graduation rate. You got to get involved in the community. You can't just go out there and going for personal ambition, traveling all over, and then your backyard is hurting.
Yeah. Now, you're touching my heart here. You're a pastor as well.
Yes, indeed.
God bless you for that.
Listen, I've been doing it for 32 years, started from scratch. My first Bible study, none of them were religious people. A lot of young people in my church. It's a thriving church. We just got into a new building. It's exciting. But at the end of the day, it's about transformation, and that's what we're looking for.
Yeah, and walk me through this, if you would, Fernando, Councilman Fernando Cabrera, going up against AOC and the Democrats. This is a big, huge story. This man is respected, and I don't know if AOC knows what she's in for, but I don't want to make it any animus there, but you're making a lot of sense. What is with the progressive left? Why don't they believe? I believe, and I may be wrong, because you told me everything that I believe and you believe in, and you're a Democrat.
Right.
God, country, community, church. Maybe the Democrats should start thinking like that, man.
Yeah, I think that somehow there are people in the party that the way they attract attention is by creating noise and being extreme. Extreme catches people's attention. but it does not mean that it's going to have an impact. And we know what works, Joe. That's the thing that drives me crazy. We know that when families are healthy and we take care of families, we know when we respect the religious community that gives so much back to the community. We know that when we focus on the issues of a quality of life issues, that a community thrives and it makes us better.
And it's so funny. I'm looking here, like Frankie and I were talking. If you're pro-capitalist, Christian, social conservative, but you still keep winning, Fernando, with the Democratic primaries, even when you're challenged by the hard left, does that show that the Democratic Party, even in New York, is more conservative than some people think, at least some people within the party?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, what people may not know, Joe, and I'm going to say first here.
All right. I love it. Come on.
Is that the Justice Democrat, which they helped Ocasio get in, they first came after me. They put a gentleman named Randy Abreu, who works for her right now, who committed extortion, by the way, during that election against another candidate. The fact is they came after me. We blew them away because the people in the community know that this extreme left approach does not work, and it does not reflect the principles by which we know will make a community strong.
So they came to you first?
Absolutely.
Then you just said, I don't think...
No, we blow them away.
You didn't want to go... You didn't want to go...
They came after
No, they came after me. They put a candidate,
Yeah.
and Ocasio was literally campaigning, before she became a congresswoman, campaigning for this young man to run against me, and we won that election, and now we're going to return the favor.
Well, and it bothers you about the Amazon situation because it was so obvious. And,
Absolutely.
we rail against corporate welfare. We rail against it. It's like, hey, man, you're making the money, filter it down. I understand that.
Right.
But 25,000 jobs is 25,000 jobs.
And it wasn't not just jobs. As a matter of fact, it was, and then on top of that, another 100,000 indirect jobs. Schools. I was talking to EDC, Economic Development Corporation, to be able to have high schools in our district, especially in black and brown districts, where we're going to have them go in Amazon and create a pipeline so they could get those $150,000 jobs. And she literally blew that out of the water and replaced it with absolutely anything. And it's just, all of her plans are unrealistic. Look, let's talk about the Green Deal, if I can, Joe.
Please.
I mean, you're talking about over $70 trillion plan that Democrats voted in the Senate. All of the Democrats, all of the Republicans voted down 57-0 because it's so unrealistic. It's not pragmatic. There are ways to handle this. Even the United Nations, the climate panel, said if we put enough trees to cover the area, United States, throughout the world, we resolve the problem. If we put just merely $20 billion for the technology, we could solve this problem.
Councilman Fernando Cabrera, what I love about you is that you're talking local. And what I don't understand about AOC, with respect, I don't say anything, but because she's got the whole package going, she talks on this progressive, so it's happening in New Jersey, it happens in Albany, it happens in New York City. There's progressive socialist agenda. They think it works for everybody. It does not.
It does not, because it takes away opportunity. It takes away free enterprise. Look, my grandmother is buried in Venezuela, Joe. She's Dominican, but she moved over there. She was there when it prospered, when it was the richest, most prosperous country. And then you had socialism come in 10 years. We had 10% of the population literally leave Venezuela. They're in a dire economic situation. Greece, right now, the young people actually introduced socialism, and now this year, the young people say, enough with socialism, we're going back to free enterprise, because they end up with a 28% unemployment, and they couldn't pay their bonds. Basically, they were bankrupt.
Now, you're Italian, you're going to be offended if someone went after you, like she did. Is that, you taking anything personal in this?
Absolutely not. You know, I had to, look, when you run for office, it's very taxing. It's costly. It requires all your attention. Your family has to be in it. I'm a father. I'm a grandfather. I'm 55 years old. I'm still in my golden year. I'm still young. I'm
spring
rocking.
chicken, man.
Come on, big time. But it does. You know, there's a tax that's gonna come. There are people gonna try to blemish, brand you, lie, misrepresent you. So I understand what I'm getting into. But I'm talking about the future and the direction that this country is going. I'm afraid I literally, Joe, I'm telling you from the bottom of my heart, I'm afraid the direction that we're taking that is going to cost us the very soul of America.
Yeah, Councilman Fernando Cabrera. What happened? You and Joe Borelli prayed at the site of the Sermon on the Mount together? Is that right?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, there were many council members that we went over there. I've been to Israel 7 times. I'm very pro-Israel. I'm the most pro-Israel minority member in the city council. And I have a love for Israel, and we need to support Israel. It's a passion of mine. And so...
God bless you for that.
No. We need it. And
that anti-Semitic rise in the House of Representatives is very unsettling.
It's very... And it's disconcerting that it's coming, ironically, from Democrats.
No, man.
You know, and my Jewish friends, they're very nervous. They're Democrats.
Yeah.
They're saying, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Where is this coming from? If we're going to talk about unity, we cannot be targeting, a specific group of people in the way that they have been targeted, especially with their history that they have gone through so much.
Where can we get involved? Where can we learn about your campaign, Fernando?
Thank you so much, Joe. If I want to encourage everyone to go to Cabrera for Congress, CabreraForCongress.com. We need volunteers. I'm asking people, a lot of times people tell me, I'll be praying for you. We need more than prayers. We need to put feet to this campaign. It's going to require funding. Look, she had a head start. She has $1.4 million in the bank. But I believe there are enough Americans that would say enough is enough. So I'm encouraging everybody, go right now. Don't wait. Even if it's $1, 1 million people give $1.
Yeah.
We're talking about $1 million. That will be a tremendous jumpstart.
Hey, correct me if I'm wrong. You're right, Frankie. Five Boroughs and I were talking about, and we appreciate your time because you're so involved with this. We love that, man. A Democratic primary is a better vehicle for beating her than the general election. You're thinking.
If I could be so honest, with respect to our friends in the
you got some good people
side,
running on the other side.
You got people. This is democracy, but the district is only 11% Republican. They're not going to win. The real race, this is the real race with the real candidate, the one who has a real path of winning here, because this is a moderate district. They're very nervous. The AOC camp, they're very nervous about this race. And watch all the attacks that are going to come, because they only attack people who they feel that this is a threat. And this is why I'm asking, please go to CabreraForCongress.com. Even if it's $1, it will make a difference. 5, 10, whatever is in your heart.
You're welcome here anytime, Councilman. Thank you, man. I appreciate your spirit.
Thank you.
Your heart, and I appreciate it. This man is Fernando Cabrera, running against AOC in the Democratic primary. Godspeed, my friend.
Thank you.
And we'll talk soon on the radio.
It's going to happen.
Thank you,
God
Councilman.
bless.